So hello and welcome to Active Ideas. This is an exciting video. This is the first Polar watch that I've reviewed. This is the Polar Ignite 3, and amongst the recent releases of Polar, such as the Vantage V3 with the new mapping system, this has been a really good way to get into the Polar ecosystem. It's really comfortable, as you can see there, how thin this watch is. Super comfortable, you can't even feel that you're wearing it, which is good. It does all of your daily tracking. It's 24/7 tracking of your sleep, your heart rate. It also does like your heart rate variability or your automatic nervous system, and kind of gives you your overnight recharge and how boosted your body has felt from that sleep. And what's nice about Polar is they are really regarded by the scientific community. So Polar are vouching that this offers you stats that are kind of vouched by the scientific community, and they're validated as well scientifically. So you're not just getting some random number out of the sky. These are validated stats, and yeah, I've seen it to be very accurate with the heart rate. Really impressed with that. It has dual frequency mode as well, which has been unbelievable. I'm currently testing the Sunto Race, and if you've been watching my channel, you know that I think Sunto has one of the best and most accurate GPS systems when you're out there running and hiking. And yeah, I found the exact same with the Polar. I'm getting really accurate GPS tracking, and it's literally, when it ticks over a kilometre on the Sunto, it's a kilometre on the Polar. So I'm very impressed. We're going to dive into it now and see some of the things that Polar Ignite 3 has to offer, and why I think you should get this watch. So the Polar Ignite 3 comes in this very petite box, but it's very nice. It's got some of the stats on the back, just saying that it's a high resolution AMOLED display. Yeah, the display is fantastic. You've got customizable widgets, accurate heart rate, which I can vouch for, holistic sleep monitoring tools, and bespoke fitness applications and coaching. So yeah, they're really kind of going for that holistic lifestyle, catching the flow of your body approach. And on the front, you've got the design of the Polar Ignite 3. You pull off the sleeve, all the heavy documentation, and you can feed right into this if you'd like to. So we're going to pull this out, and you've also got the charging cable, and this charging cable is really magnetic. It clamps onto the watch really nice, and that gives you that security that it's not going to kind of come loose, and it's going to actually charge when you put it down on the charger. There's no way you'll not know this is charging. The connection is very strong. We also have the spare band. Polar says this is from small to large wrist, and I can vouch for that. My brother's tried this watch on, and he has a bit of a bigger wrist than me, or a massive wrist actually, and yeah, the large fit him just fine, and I've got the small here for more petite wrist sizes. So yeah, children, teenagers, women, and small males like myself. And here she is. It's a very petite watch. You can see how thin it is. So if I just plant the Sunto Race next to the Polar, yeah, you can see how much smaller this Polar is. And that's been a good thing in terms of the fitness tracking. You don't want the watch to feel like it's getting in your way. You're bashing it on the corner of walls by accident. You can't put the cuff of your sleeves on. This Polar is almost 3 times smaller than the Sunto. And yeah, battery life has been good. And to be honest, the heart rate has been superior in such a small watch, and the GPS accuracy being fantastic. Honestly, I'm very impressed with it. We're just getting notifications coming through on the watches now, so we'll have a quick look at them. We've got my good friend Abby that I run with. She's featured in some of the logs that's just text me. You can see here just straight off the bat that Polar's actually going to show you that WhatsApp emoji. So it's really nice that when you get an Instagram notification come through, or a WhatsApp notification, or Facebook, you're actually going to get those logos. It makes that smartwatch experience much more pleasant to kind of live with day by day. And we can see on the back there the heart rate system as well. So yeah, we are comparing apples and oranges here, but this is Sunto's only AMOLED watch at the minute, and it's a watch that I'm testing, and you can see kind of how small that heart rate sensor is, and it is from my testing so far the last couple of weeks the most accurate heart rate sensor I've tested for running. So yeah, this is the watch. This is the watch face that I've got at the minute. You can see that it's Wednesday the 15th. You can see my heart rate is 56, or it was 56 when it was last on my wrist. You can see the calories that I've burnt today, and you can also see what the weather is as well today, and that's in degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. I like that you can change this watch face if you want as well. So if you really don't like the watch face, you just click the middle button, go into your settings, and yeah, you've got a multitude of these different watch faces that you can choose. This is more of kind of like an Android looking vibe they're going for. I quite like the analog look that Polar's going for here. And once you've chosen your kind of style of watch face, you can add your own customizable data to kind of be presented on that watch face, choose the color, things like that. So this is what I've chose. I like to see what my heart rate is all the time. What I do like about this system as well is you can dive straight from the watch face into these widgets. So if I touch the heart rate, it will take me to the activity section. You can see that my resting heart rate is 45 today. My max heart rate today so far is 73, and the heart rate of the table was about 56 beats per minute at the moment. You can also touch the calories, and again, it's going to take you back to here. And you can scroll through to see your calories for the day, so 1,414 calories. And I like that it's showing you your metabolism as well. So yeah, this watch is going to show you what your kind of resting metabolic rate is, which is really good. But you can also see your activity calories and your training calories. So I really like that breakdown that not all of the brands are offering at the moment. And then we've got the weather that you can touch, and it's going to take you straight to the weather, and you've got so much information on here about the humidity, the wind, the hourly forecast for like the next 48 hours. It's kind of intense. You can get every piece of information that you'd like. So scrolling through the widgets now before we go into sport profiles and stuff. So you've got the activity widget, as I kind of briefly touched before. That's going to show you how much activity you've done compared to your goals. So 6% of my step goal is being achieved today. And I can click this and have a look in there and see that I spent 2 hours today being active. I can look at my heart rate, and I can look at the calories that I showed you before. When you go back, one thing that I did find odd is that you can't swipe from the side to go back. You actually have to press the button. So this isn't a watch that you can use completely using the touchscreen. You do have to use that touch button, and it would be nice if the UI would allow you to swipe back. It would make the UI, I think, flow a little bit more. I'm scrolling through to the next widget. We have the training. So it's Wednesday. I've not gone out for my run yet, which I still have to do with my good friend Abby, and I'm already on 6 hours, so I am overreaching this week. I am probably going to get injured, and you can see how the watch has already detected this later and is already warning me you shouldn't train, but I've already dedicated myself to plans. So yeah, 6 hours 11 minutes of training so far. I also like that on the sides you've got your kind of breakdown of zones. So yeah, I've kind of neglected the zone 5. I've done lots of zone 2 training, lots of zone 3 training, and probably too much zone 4 training as well. You can click onto this and see, yeah, your week's summary. So far it's Wednesday. I've done 6 hours of exercise, 20 miles of running, and I've done 4 activities and burnt 4,577 active calories. You've also got your breakdowns of zones here, so they're really good that you can dive into these intensity zones. And I like that you can dive into your workouts. So if I go into my workout that I did yesterday, I go onto here and I've got my 10-mile run. It took me 1 hour and 43 minutes. I can see that my max heart rate was 181. The cardio load is a great thing. Training load and being able to monitor that is so important if you're into your training. My heart rate zones for this activity. Again, you've got the energy used. So I really like this breakdown of carbs and fat. I don't think Carmen and Chorus are doing this yet, so this is awesome, and it fortifies that kind of scientific background that Polar have got in the scientific community. Yeah, we've got the carb breakdown and the protein breakdown and the fat breakdown. Just gives you a really good insight, and I think just enough insight for your everyday user. You don't have to have a master's in sports science to understand this. It's very easy and very visual with this graph here that you can look at. We also have the pace from this activity, and my running index, I believe this is supposed to represent your VO2 max, is 55. So there we go, that's what it was on that run yesterday. And you've got the speed zones here. We've also got the cadence of the run. Not every watch is going to give you this, but yeah, you don't need a pod or anything crazy like that. And the altitude as well. So yeah, my max kind of height was 160 feet, and I climbed 240 feet in that session and descended 240 feet. So really accurate. You've got your automatic laps of 16, which you can touch here to look at your lap breakdown for every lap that you did. These laps are broken down into kilometers. On the Polar, I found it's very easy for you to dive into your kilometers and compare your miles whilst you have the watch on your wrist. And at the bottom here, you've got your best lap and your average lap time. So that is everything with the run. We're going to dive out of here. So moving on to the next widget, we've got the nightly recharge, and this is showing your automatic nervous system in terms of like your heart rate variability recovery. So my heart rate variability has gone up, but what it's also showing is that I had a terrible night's sleep last night. I also like that in this scary orange writing it says compromise, just to remind me that I probably shouldn't train today because I've had a compromised recovery last night. And we can see that my sleep recharge is 51 out of 100, so that is much below usual and not a good sign. You can see that I fell asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:41, woke up at 6:46 to my barking dog, and yeah, 4 hours 5 minutes sleep. I also like that you can see your 6 hour and 51 minute average and average sleep time. So yeah, my sleep quality has been terrible. You can see there 3 hours and 41 minutes. I'm not too sure what this cloud is. Oh yeah, continuity. So you can see kind of how good is your sleep when you get to sleep and you've slept for 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. What is the continuity like throughout that time schedule? Have you had a good sleep, or has it been kind of restless? And you can see that if it has been restless like it was last night, you can see my 7-minute interruptions from last night, and I believe 12-minute is my average interruption over the last 28 days. We've also got the sleep cycle. So last night I had a sleep cycle of 3. My REM sleep, which is 11%. My deep sleep, which was 18%. And again, you've always got that monthly average below, which I think is very useful. Interruptions was 10%. You can also rate on the watch, which will feed back to the app. How did I sleep last night? And it was very poorly. Okay, so we are going to go on to the next one, and we've got this thing here called boosts from sleep. So the boost from sleep is going to show you what your energy levels are going to look like throughout the day due to the sleep you've had. And you can see here that I've had a boost at 10 a.m. through to about 1 o'clock, and by 7 o'clock I'm gonna have that next boost of energy again, and I really do hope I do, because that's when I'm meant to be running with Abby doing this 10-mile run again. So yeah, that's the boost from sleep. 3.7 out of 10. So yeah, it's not looking good today. You can click into this widget and look at your sleep time. Again, that sleep time, my sleep last night, my sleep score was 51 out of 100. My sleep gate, it will show you kind of when you are most likely to go to bed. So yeah, between kind of 12:30 at night and 1 o'clock in the morning, it's starting to get sleepy and potentially fall asleep. And you've got the recognizability of sleep gate, 2 out of 3. I do like as well, because I did find coming to the Polar for the first time, it can be a bit confusing to understand all of this data. I love data and I want more of it, keep it coming, but it's nice that you can click learn more and just get a little bit more information. And obviously, if it's still not helping you, you've got the manuals, or what I think is more useful, just head to Polar's website or some YouTube videos and just learn how to kind of interpretate that data. The next section, which is the nightly skin temperature. So yeah, it's really good that Polar are offering this, a skin temperature sensor on the Polar Ignite 3 to compete with brands such as Apple. Yeah, I don't think you can do this in Garmin, Sunto or Chorus yet. So having skin temperature, again, just showing how Polar are going for that kind of holistic demographic, and I think they're doing it well. You can see from the skin temperature that I'm 0.6 degrees Fahrenheit, a little bit hotter than usual. But yeah, you've got the ballpark figure of it being 4 degrees colder or 4 degrees hotter, where it starts to kind of freak out and be like, look, you've either got the fever or something going on with your body's thermogenesis. So it's good that that's there. The information you can basically see here is what your skin temperature has been throughout the week, and the deviations, whether it's been up or down compared to your baseline, and just get a more specific reading of what it was last night. So coming out of the skin temperature as well, so the cardio load status is showing that I'm productive at the moment, so that's nice. I have been training a lot. My strain and my tolerance. Let's click on this. You've been training progressively, which should be improving your fitness levels. Keep it up. And you can see here, again, a visual kind of diagram of what my cardio load is, and if I'm kind of not training hard enough or training too much. Also got here the strength, cardio and supportive FitSpark, Polar's version of the daily suggestion, and it's telling me that today I should probably not work on strength and not work on cardio. Today's the day to strengthen my core if I'd like to train. And if I'd like to strengthen my core, I click strengthen my core, and you have these different workouts that you can choose. So you can do cardio if you want today. You've got these different strengthening exercises. So I've got mobility static, I've got mobility dynamic, and I've got core regular. And what I like is I can click on these exercises. I can click to start and get started straight away, but it's actually going to show you diagrams of what these exercises look like. So we've got the back extensions, we've got the push-up with the rotation, we've got the ab crunches, the Atlas twist, and the march and reach. So to complete this kind of strengthening exercise, you need to do exercise for 40 seconds, then rest until the minute is full. Core workouts improve your strength and stability. I mean, it's just awesome stuff, and I really like Polar's way of doing this. We're going to the next one. We've got dawn and dusk. So this is the time that we're going to get the sunset and the sunrise. It's going to set in about an hour, so it's getting dark, and it's going to rise at 6 o'clock in the morning. And you can dive into this and you can see what tomorrow's dawn and dusk is, and the length of the day is 8 hours and 46 minutes of daylight at the moment. We'll go into the next one. We've got this lovely kind of weather diagram. I do find this a bit like visually stimulating for sure, but it's a bit kind of in your face, but it looks beautiful and it entices you. You just want to click and find out more. But yeah, you get an hourly kind of breakdown of what the weather looks like. So it's 4 o'clock at the moment, and as the time goes on, the temperature is going to drop until it gets to about 43 degrees Fahrenheit at 1 o'clock in the morning. You can click onto the weather widget and it's going to show you that, yeah, in Breckland district, this is the weather. This is the chance of rain. This is the wind speed. This is the wind direction. This is the humidity, 77%. And again, you've got your hourly forecast there for the next roughly 48 hours. The last page we've got here is the controls panel for your music. I do love this on the Polar. The touchscreen works really good. So when you touch the buttons, things happen. Yeah, you can turn the volume up and down, pause and play, skip the track and reverse the track. So yeah, get the music going really. And as I'm recording on my watch, you can see that it's got the little voice memo there and the timer counting down. So really kind of impressive stuff, and it's nice on the run to just be able to kind of pause that music, turn it up a bit or turn it down, skip track if it's a bit crap. So once you get to this last widget, you're now back to the start with that lovely watch face, and you have a few options of what you can do here. First of all, if you want to look at your notifications, you can swipe up from the bottom and you can flick through your different kind of notifications throughout the day and see what you've got. And you can also clear all. If you do want to clear a notification, you can just touch it. So I've got a new Strava follower here and I can just clear, and you can swipe up to come out of it or press the side button. You can also swipe down from the top and you have the access to your alarms really quickly. You can turn on airplane mode or you can access your flashlight. So it's really cool to see that the Polar Ignite 3 does have the flashlight. It is pretty bright. I'm not too sure if it's as bright as the Sunto Race. We'll have a look now. Yeah, definitely not as bright as you can see, but it's good enough for when you're kind of walking about the house, going to the toilet in the middle of the night, if you're camping. And if you saw there, the last one was that you can add a new widgets. You can also add an ability to lock the screen. You can add a countdown timer. You can add a do not disturb toggle, so you can do that really quickly. Press save at the bottom. The last thing to show you really is what happens when you press this side button from the watch face to access your activities. So if you want to start training, you'll click the side button, you'll get the start training pop up, and you can access other things from here, but we'll just do one thing at a time. To start training, you click the middle, and here it's going to locate the GPS. What I found is the Polar GPS acquisition has been super quick. I would say quicker than the Sunto and quicker than Garmin, quicker than Kuros. It's been really good. I'm not sure if I got really lucky with this specific model, but yeah, jaw-dropping stuff here in terms of how quick it gets green. And once that's gone green, you can click the screen again and it's going to start your run. And what you can also do is click this settings button, and yeah, you have the options to enable power save. So if you want the GPS to record every minute or every second, you can do that there. I don't recommend having GPS set to every minute. That would be terrible, but if you want to increase the battery life, it is there, which is awesome. You've got the heart rate, which you can turn off. You've got the backlight that you can turn off or on. You can share your heart rate, which is really good if you want to share it with Peloton or Swift, or you're into your rowing. I got really into my rowing and I was able to broadcast that heart rate to the Concept 2 rowing machine and kind of track that data over time. You've got the training suggestions, favorites, race pace, interval timer, countdown timer, and back to start. So you have got some kind of basic navigation features on this Polar Ignite 3. So that's really good if you do need to get back to your car and you're a bit lost in a forest or something, for example. Yeah, coming out of here, to start your run, you just click the middle button and off you go. The recording has started and you can see the heart rate dial at the top. You've got the distance in miles, pace in minutes per mile, and you've also got the duration time at the bottom. You can swipe through and see your minimum heart rate, your average heart rate, and your max heart rate on this graph here. You can see the durations. It's been a minute of exercise already and the time of the day. You can access all your music from your phone, pause, play, skip, do everything like that during the activity. And again, you're back to the start. Once you are finished with your activity, you can touch the side button, which will pause. And here you can be mid-activity, for example, and go like, I'm getting really low on battery. I'm going to enable the power saving mode. But if you just want to stop the activity and save it, you hold down again. You get the countdown timer, 3, 2, 1, and it will save. As well as running, we also have the group exercise. You have the strength training, the cycling, the swimming, the cross trainer, the indoor cycling, treadmill run, body and mind, other indoor, other outdoor. You're walking, and back to running. For getting the training, you've also got the option to do breathing. So I have tested this and it felt good to just do kind of a breathing exercise, lower that heart rate and control that kind of anxiety a bit more. We've also got the fueling, so you can get it to remind you to take carbs, and you can get the Polar Ignite 3 to also remind you to drink. If you are someone that's, when they were running their 5k, 10k, half marathon or marathon, just needs a bit of a reminder to get the fuel in. So drink reminder every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes. You can set it to whatever you like. We've also got timers, so you can set alarms. You can set the stopwatch, tap the screen, stop. Countdown timer. I'll also show you what it's like when we get an alarm. So we're going to set the alarm to once, any second now, 3, 2, and any second now. So one thing I did like about the alarm is this has a really powerful vibration setting, and it might be the most powerful vibration I've ever had in a watch before. So for such a tiny little thing, this is super powerful, and you can choose to snooze your alarms or stop them. So very good for heavy sleepers. This is a very strong vibration setting. Coming out of timers, we also have tests. So you've got the walking test, the running test, and the fitness test, where you can lie in the comfort of your bed and warmth of your bed and look at your fitness tests, and you can see your results. So it'll tell you your VO2 max from literally laying in your bed. How cool is that? You don't have to get on a treadmill and run until you can't breathe and want to puke. You don't have to go out and run a 5K until you want to puke. What is my VO2 max? And it will tell you. Yeah, if you would like to do the fitness test, you can also run and walk if you're willing to get out of bed. And the last option we have in this kind of menu is the settings, where you can adjust the general settings, choose views, you can change the watch face, change the time or date, physical settings, so such as your weight, height, all of that good stuff. We're just gonna have a look at the general settings and have a look at what options we have. So you can get to pair to sync to the watch, you can turn on and off the heart rate tracking. We've got the brightness. This is on low, which I think is more than enough for me. We can also set it on high. Again, that will reduce your battery life, but to be honest, I've been using it in low and it's being good enough for me. We've got the always on display, which I've got as turned as off. You can turn this on, which I will do now. Please note that showing your time will drain your battery much faster than a blank screen. Okay, always on is on, do not disturb, phone notifications, music controls, units, you've got imperial or metric, languages, Spanish, Italian, Polish, Turkish. Yeah, we've got lots of stuff there. We've got the inactivity alert, so if you've sat down for too long and did your fitness test in bed, it will eventually tell you to get up and get moving. You've got the vibrations, which I've got to turn on. They are quite powerful, but which I find is good. If it's a bit too much for you, you can turn that off if you like. You can choose which wrist you wear your watch on, your left or right. You can change the satellite to power save, but you want it on that dual frequency mode because it is fantastic. And you've also got about your watch. I would say one qualm that I have, and my brother who was testing this watch for the channel had with the Polar Ignite 3, was that every time you raise your wrist, it will show you your battery life. And one of the widgets that you can have on the screen, so if we just turn the screen on, rather than it show your heart rate, you can get it to show your battery life, but there's no need, because every time you turn this watch face on, it's going to show you the battery life, and that was quite annoying. It'd be nice if you can stop that little drop down coming on. So let's show you one more time. This little drop down here, 71% every single day. What's the time? Oh, it's showing me the battery. It'd be nice if I could turn that off. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. This is the Polar Ignite 3. This is kind of a combination of the first impressions. I've been training heavy with this. My brother's been using it for a couple of months now, and I have all of his intel. Yeah, we both agree that this is a fantastic watch. We think it's very stylish. We think it's very comfortable. It's insanely thin, but has a big watch face. It's got this nice texture to the side, which is very symmetrical all the way around, and a good kind of responsive button. That really accurate heart rate and really accurate GPS sensor. There's not really much more you can ask for in a fitness tracker, and I'm already seeing some really good deals in the second-hand market, but also on Polar's website, and I highly recommend it. I would say as well, one thing that me and my brother did notice was that the band was quite hard to keep clean, and you can see it's a little bit gone grey and faded. I'm not too much of a fan of, you have to kind of push it into this hole here, and it's just a little bit uncomfortable and has caught a hair every single time I push that in to tuck away the excess length of the watch strap onto my arm. So it's a little bit tuggy, a little bit grippy. Once it's on, is a fairly comfortable experience. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. We've got the studio videos coming soon, and peace out. So thanks for watching. You know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe if you can. My slogan, dreams are a step away. And remember, show compassion, show esteem, and have fun out there. Peace out.